Fall is the season. As we get colder, we'll start to see our first frost, our first freeze, and eventually our first hard freeze. So I wanted to show you what those typical dates look like across the state. It's usually later in southeast Nebraska compared to everyone else for our first frost, which is usually temperatures falling between about 33 and 36 degrees. Patch areas of frost can happen on a quiet night with winds under about 8 miles per hour if we get to about 38 to 42 degrees. And there are some 40s out there this morning in western Nebraska, but they typically see their first fall frost by now. And I know portions of northwest Nebraska certainly already have this month. But for us in southeast Nebraska, it's typically toward the first week of October, which is next week. I will say there are no signs on the horizon, though, of us dropping that cold anytime soon, at least over the next 10 days, if not the next 2 weeks. Our first fall freeze, which is when temperatures are dropping around 32 degrees or colder, happens by the next week of October, usually that second week, and you'll see it's a little earlier as you look west across the state. But the first hard freeze, when there could be widespread destroyed seasonal vegetation, outdoor plumbing if not protected, and sprinkler systems can be damaged. That first hard freeze at 28 degrees or colder happens typically by the third week of October. So we're starting to see these colder temperatures usually by next month. Getting ready for that, but again, no signs of it anytime soon. In fact, we're fairly comfortable here this morning at 60 degrees here in Lincoln with a little cloud cover overhead. Still 63 in Hebron and Beatrice at this point, just past 5:15 this morning. But look at these 40s, 48 degrees in Chadron, 46 in Scottsbluff. The higher elevation kind of plays into those temperatures dropping off and getting a little colder earlier in the season out west. Compared to 24 hours ago, some 5-10 degrees cooler, especially from northeast Nebraska into central portions of the state, with a dew point falling into the 50s and a little drier air certainly out in the panhandle. Winds are less than 10 miles per hour throughout the state, so a quiet start to the day. Cloud cover is going to diminish for eastern and southern Nebraska here throughout the morning hours. Stormcast does a great job of showing that by the afternoon, seeing some more sunshine. But with the heating of the day, you'll notice some more of these clouds popping up. These will likely be some cumulus clouds, and we can't rule out a spot shower in portions of southeast Nebraska, if not eastern Nebraska today. Not everyone's going to see that before these clouds will diminish later tonight. High temperatures today, seasonal for this time of the year. Usually we're at 77, calling for 77 degrees for a high temperature today. Temperatures tonight, as you can see, nowhere near frost, freeze, or hard freeze, with lows still in the 50s. And in fact, going forward in time, with many high temperatures in the low to mid 80s through the end of the month, low temperatures will still be in and around the upper 50s and lower 60s as well.
All right. Thank you very much, Jessica.